to have the training that our staff have and the ability to understand what he needs has really helped him. We've been able to help him be able to go out in the community more. He would be in a locked facility if he wasn't with us. He would be just laying around, not really having a life that he has now. Now he has the opportunity to go out and do everything he loves. But without Easterseals, I don't think that would be possible.
So when Michael was born, we had 3 kids, ages 9 to 3. He was born with, they called it a cluster of midline deformities from his face all the way down to his feet. So they immediately knew that probably more was wrong than just the cleft lip. The day after Michael was born, we had, I think we counted 12 specialists who came through our room. That was our introduction to a life is really different now.
Michael's condition is 18q-. It's a deletion of the long arm of the 18th chromosome. And when he was born, nobody knew exactly what that was. From the beginning, we knew that he was cognitively disabled and was going to be developing at his own pace, and unsure where he would end up because the 18q- is a very rare condition, and so there's not a lot of data.
His first 2 years, he had a total of 13 big surgeries. Then we started adding physical therapy and occupational therapy, and I mean, it became my life, my full-time job. He's never been verbal, and so he's got this kind of perfect little storm because he's got physical pain from surgeries and we think he has migraines, and he can't tell us. And so he has pain, he can't tell us, and he gets aggressive. So that started when he was actually younger, and it made school really hard. And at one point it was so bad, his aggression had been bad, we couldn't find what was going on for several days. And I said to Jim, I said, you need to call someone. We need help, we can't keep doing this. And he picked up his phone and paused. And he looked at me and he said, I don't know who to call. I don't know who to call.
We were directed to Kennedy Krieger Institute, which is a neurobehavioral unit in relationship and on the campus of Johns Hopkins. No parent really wants to think, oh, that's where my kid belongs. We were in a meeting with all the team, looking at his ISP and his care and things, and I don't know, there must have been, 15 people. Mm-hmm. And then we realized, we were trying to do this, just the 2 of us, and it was impossible.
So the search to find independent supported living for him was not easy. They said aggression is going to be part of his life, and you need a place that can manage those behaviors. And so we would call places, and they would, we would describe him, and at some point, people would kind of tap out and say, I don't think we can do that. And so until one day, someone gave us the name and the number of Nicole Johnson, who was with Easterseals, and I can tell you exactly where we were sitting when we first talked to her. My goal was to go ahead and scare her off, so we could move on and figure out what to do. And we were describing his behaviors, and she stayed really calm, and she kept saying, we can support that. We can do that. Here's how we handle that. And so that kind of blew us away. And then we got into some phone calls between his caregivers in the hospital and Easterseals, and there reached a point where the hospital in Baltimore didn't think Easterseals could do it. And she got on the phone with me. I said, Nicole, they don't think you can do it. And she goes, all I can tell you is I've seen it work, and I think we can do it. And so finally I said to her, because we had heard this before. We had schools that said they could do it. We had sitters who said they could do it with therapists, but when they really experienced his behavior, they would tap out. And so I finally said to her, I said, okay, explain to me at what point you would give up on him. How bad would it have to be before you would say you can't do it? At what point do you give up? And for the first time in my son's life, someone said to me, I'll never give up on him. Sorry. She said, We're going to do whatever it takes to care for your son. We'll never give up on him.
She asked me a lot of hard questions. What are you going to do if this happens? What are you going to do if that happens? And, I told her, I don't have all the answers, but I will do everything in my power to help figure it out.
The first word that comes to mind is affectionate. Michael, he seeks out that attention from anybody that walks into his home or anybody he meets in the community.
He is fantastic. He is loving, sweet, very energetic. We spend most of our time dancing, actually. He's got some great rhythm. He loves being out in the community. He'll go to baseball games. He will go to Monkey Joe's.
He's not shy about showing how he feels about you on any given day. You may be sitting watching something together, and then you turn to the side and he's doing a headstand on the couch next to you, and then falls into your lap and does not care at all about the personal space. That's how he's communicating to you. He's not going to turn to me and say, I really love spending time with you. He's showing you, I really love spending time with you by allowing you into my personal space, allowing you into my life.
The best way I can describe the difference between the care he gets now and the care he ever got before is his entire staff sees past his behavior, and they've discovered who he is. They see him and relate to him and talk about him. His behavior does not define him to them.
I don't think there's a month that goes by that I don't hear from someone that is embedded in Michael's life how much they love Michael.
It's more than just a job. You're constantly thinking about what's the next thing you can improve upon, what's the next thing that Michael may need.
He can learn. He's so incredibly smart. He can learn everything, but you have to find the way that works for him.
I care about Michael deeply. He is considered a part of my inner circle, if you want to call it family, if you want to call it friend. Getting to spend every day with him, while challenging at times, is worth it each day, because you see the difference that you make, you see the difference that he makes in his community, and you see the difference that the team makes together.
The other piece that's important to me at Easterseals is our family has been very protective and loving of him. And if nothing else, he was loved and he was cared for. And I would say that stands to this day. We can say that he's loved.